Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're gonna get back on the frame from last week. Still working on what we're gonna do with the back legs. I kind of did a thing. Could not help myself. I had to draw it. So roughly, you can kind of see what I think it's gonna look like. I don't know yet, maybe, but I had to. That's what I do. So whatever. Either way, let's get back on it. All welded up. That was fun. So, yeah. I did go ahead off camera earlier. I did bend up some of this. This is 1.25 inches, I want to say. It's all I had left really for what I want to do. So one of them is going to go right there. The other one is going to do something like that there. So what I got to do now is just clean them up, and then I'm going to put them in the notcher and just trade out my 2.5-inch one or 2.25-inch one and put in my 1.5-inch bit so that I can notch these correctly. And then we will tack those on, and then we'll go ahead and do our holes there and there to get ready for back legs. Once I've got the holes, we'll go ahead, clean it up, figure out what we want to do, if we're going to do some plating like I did in the drawing. I think I will, just because I think it'll look kind of neat, give us some extra touches there. There you go, got the first one done. So you see that'll lay there, kind of like that. That bar is actually coming along pretty cool. You can see how that kind of goes into that. Finishing this down here, because like I said, I'm going to have that go as an angle so that it looks kind of like it goes like that. So I need to do that, cap it off before I put legs on it, and I can't get to it. Once that's done, I think maybe what I'll do before I even do the legs is probably go ahead and, while I can still lay the frame down, go ahead and get me some cardboard templates from there, and there, so that I can do the metal tanks. They're going to be permanent tanks. I'm going to double dye them, but they are going to be permanent. They're not going to be removable. Maybe I'll make them removable, but probably not. It's a lot of welding when you don't, though. When you do a permanent tank like that, it's a lot of welding. So I don't know if I want to do that much welding. So sometimes making tanks that are removable just makes things a little bit easier for you. It's coming along good, guys. I'm liking it. This is definitely taking longer, I think, than I thought it would. I guess just because I was winging it and I hadn't drawn anything as of yet, and I was putting stuff on and coming up with new ideas. So I don't know. It's kind of neat. Definitely, like I said, it's different than anything I've ever done. I haven't seen anything like this. So, oh well. Like I said, tomorrow, we'll probably get back on it. If not tomorrow, this weekend. But y'all have a good night. See you tomorrow. Alright, new day. Gonna get back on this frame over here. Trying to get a game plan together. Think I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna clean up the 1 inch so that I have it ready to go. Gonna go ahead also clean up the frame where I can get it where it needs to be. We'll go ahead and start making these tank plates here, here, and here, because I would rather do it while I can lay it down and do it instead of trying to sit here and weld all in there, trying to grind that down, because once the legs are in the way, you're not going to be able to do it. So let's take this, we'll go get the metal, clean that up, because it's the most tedious thing to do. Clean those legs up, get those ready to go. Take this down, grab some of that 16 gauge over there in the corner, lay this down on the table, trace out what I need, cut 2 out each side, figure out where I want to dimple die it, put them all in there, weld them up, let's go. And legs are cleaned up. We're going to go ahead and get into cleaning up the frame while I can still get to all the edges. I still want to angle that there, cap it, clean up some of these welds. You're not going to see anything in here, so I may leave those just because I want to leave some structure. So we'll leave those. I probably are going to grind that all the way down, clean this up down here something. I don't know what I'm going to do here because it's going to leave a ridge. I may add like a piece of metal that comes to a point and then just kind of grind that so it looks like the frame almost like a trim piece. So might do that. That's good. Bottom bracket not concerned with. Again, up there and there, I always leave the head tube, or I try to always leave the head tube alone when it comes to grinding welds, just because that is such a structural spot. If that ever let go for any reason, you're gonna eat it. Alright, so you see that I got the welds ground down, and here's kind of what I was talking about with that lip. So I may leave it, or I may add like take a piece of flat steel and run it to a point, and then grind that in, and it'll look like a trim piece. That's all ground down. That piece that I'm going to do here is going to probably come all the way to there, so that's fine. Tips ground up in there. Everything's looking good, everything's going to see. So that's done with this side. Got to flip it over to the other side. I'm not going to make you guys watch that. After that, we're going to get into the sheet metal. Okay, got it all ground down. That was not fun. Probably the least fun of any framework is grinding your welds down in these tight little spaces. But anyway, got it laid down on top of the sheet metal. And then what I will do, so that I don't waste a whole lot, oh, you guys can see what I kind of did back here too. I'm not done with it. I'm going to cap it, but now you get an idea of what I did here. Instead of letting it fall at a straight flat, gave it a tilt. Once it's all welded and clean, it'll kind of look like the pipe goes like this and then drops off that way. So, kind of neat. Again, I will move this stuff around as the best I can so that I'm not wasting any metal. Get to the edges. I'll go in here and I'll trace it from inside. That way it falls inside the metal instead of sitting on top of it. You can do either way. If you want to, if you try to trace it as far in as you can, it'll actually catch that lip, so when you have a little bit of welding to do and you grind it, you can get it to look like it's almost a flat piece. I'm not a sheet metal guy by any means, but from what little bit I have learned, that's how I've always done it. So I'll do this one, knock that one out, knock that one out. Once I cut those out, those will be my templates for tracing so that they're exactly the same. So first plate is done, and then everything will get mocked up off of this plate. Probably just a little bit of trimming to do. Sometimes using the nibbler will pull the metal up, so you're going to want to maybe shape it around and, you know, just get it in there so that it fits. But you can see, just like that, that's how it'll go. And then that'll all get welded in place. Looks like I got a little bit of trimming to do up here. Other than that, everything looks really good. It will look like it's more sunk into the frame. It won't look like it's sitting on top of it, which is what I like. As far as dimple guys go, I think I'll do a big one here, probably a little one, probably do 2 little ones and a big one in the middle, and just try to arrange them where I think they should go. So there's all the plating made. I think I might redo this one. I wanted to make it longer. I don't know why it got so short, but again, I think I am going to remake this one just because it's actually pushed down more than the other ones. You can see how flat, like, you can see how flat that one is, and then how sunk in this one is, and I don't want that. This one's not as bad, just to get it to lay flatter, no big deal. But yeah, I'm digging it. Looks pretty cool. So now I need to take these plates off, remake them again, and go from there. I actually got some stuff I have to go do, so I'm going to go do that, and then we'll get back on this later. Yesterday I left off finishing those panels there. I did go ahead and make a new one. I also went ahead and went in and welded this up again, because I'm going to regrind that back. It'll give me more of a smoother transition. That part's done. Still need to add what I want to do there. I don't know yet. May have to take a piece of tubing, cut the tubing off so that I get the same thickness and roundness, and then bring it into a point so it'll have like a decorative thing going on there. I did go ahead and finish that off camera, so you can see kind of what I was talking about, like that. So that's done. Gonna go ahead and get these other plates cut out. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna weld them on. I decided, said screw it, I'm gonna weld them on, but I'm not gonna weld them completely on. I'm just gonna strip weld them. Easier to grind that away and make it look smooth, so every so many inches I'll have some weld going, then I'll grind that down so it'll look like the plate's there, but it won't be all the way welded, and I won't warp the 16 gauge metal as bad either, hopefully. Alright, so I made this little piece here so you can kind of see what I'm talking about when I mean like a decorative, like whatever this would be, like a trim piece, but that will get welded onto there. It'll get welded all the way down, but it'll leave kind of like a lip, almost like if you had vents on a hood or something like that. It'll stay where it is. You'll just weld those corners in, and when you grind it all down, the metal will lift up and look like it's kind of one piece, and it goes into there instead of it just right now just stops right here, and I don't like that. So I put the frame in the jig upside down, leveled it to make sure that I'm getting center on the bottom. Not that it matters to get 100% perfect, you're not going to see it anyway, but try to. So I'm gonna get it here, give it the old eyeball. I tried to put my helmet down, but I don't have it on. Welders have it. You don't need to go in and just burn it on. I know a lot of people aren't real big on the whole tack welding thing, but this is decorative, and if you want to sit there full send on 16 gauge, go ahead, warp it, blow a bunch of holes in it, and call it a day. There, so it needs to be refined a little bit more, but now you get the idea. It's going to give you a little bit of a lip here, so that when you're looking at it from the side, it's got a little bit of a decorative style flip. I'll do that on both. That's got to clean it up a little bit more. Probably throw some more weld on these little spots here to really get it clean, but you get the idea. Alright, I am tired of grinding. All the plates are done. Now you can kind of see what I was talking about, maybe? How it gives it kind of a lip on the bottom. I think it looks kind of cool. I like it, digging it. Other than that, guess we can start getting some of the plates welded on. I need to get that done before I can even do any kind of back leg work, because I won't be able to get in here once the sheet metal's on. This one's going to have to wait for sure, because the bottom bracket has to be in place and I've got to be able to get into these welds. So no big deal on that, because I can get there. This is more grinding, so I got to get that down. I can go ahead and do that one, no big deal. So go ahead and knock that out. I'm still, before I weld it in, I need to figure out if I want to do the dimple dies or not. I'm not sure. This is the problem with doing longer builds like this, where you're doing a lot of fabrication, is you kind of get to the point where you're like, okay, do I really want to do this now and do that? So starts to make it more work, but I know it'll look cool. It'll look good in there with the dimples, but I've been doing that a lot lately. So if someone wanted to, paint this with something, if I dimple dye it, it could look stupid. So maybe I'm just going to leave it. I'm going to let the metal go, and we're just going to go from there. If someone wants to do something, they'll have access to drill right through it if they want, but let's just go ahead and get it put on. Let's skip the dimple dyes on this one. Just, I don't know if it really fits the theme of, it's not really hot rod looking, it's more space age looking, so let's leave it. Let's get that welded on. Alright, clean this one up. Got all the mill scale off of it. So now we'll go ahead and get that. We'll probably just do a nice tack right now, and then come back in and figure out where I want to put those. I'll probably put one here, here. Just even it out so that I'm not warping the metal too bad, but I think that'll work great. So that should do for now. We'll see what happens when I grind these down. If I feel like I'm not digging it, or I'd rather, because this will make it look like, it's built into the frame. You'll just have some openings. If I'm not feeling it though, I'll probably go through and weld it all up. That's a lot. I mean, you have to grind all of this. Try not to grind through the tubing. Try not to grind through the 16th gauge steel. So that's where it gets tricky. I'm probably going to add one right here, just like that, but that's it. Alright guys, so I'm going to call it a night on this one. That's a lot of sheet metal work, so we're going to get back to it tomorrow. Tomorrow's Labor Day, so time off. I'll be working. Alright, I will see you guys tomorrow. Alright guys, back on another day. We're going to get back into some sheet metal work. I'm not going to bore you with that, but I'm going to finish it up, see if we can get it ground down where I like it anyway, and then kind of go from there. Because I can't do anything with the back legs, so the sheet metal work's done. Alright guys, so I did go ahead, I got all that ground down nice and pretty. Plates are tacked on. I don't think this is going to work. I'm going to have to weld it all in. sucks because it's a massive amount of work grinding all this stuff smooth, making sure that you don't burn through this thin metal. But I think just by trying to grind these little areas down, it's going to look dumb. So I am going to weld it all in and then get going from there. I'm not going to make you watch it all though, but let's go ahead and get this done. So guys, as you can see, I did go ahead and finish weld everything, all that one. This one's done. Big chunky welds that I'm gonna have to grind down. It's gonna take me forever. One thing I didn't think about though is adding this much metal was how much this thing was going to weigh. It of course is going to be heavier. It's not too bad, but it is going to have some extra weight on it, especially if I got to ship it. But that thing's sturdy. I do have the option of not putting the bottom plate on if I don't want to. I think it won't look finished if I don't, but you can see I did get the seat post on there, and it is starting to come together. But yeah, I'm gonna have quite a bit of grinding to do, and I have a feeling that's gonna take a lot of time. So I'm gonna end it here. Not getting as much done as I want to, but I do want to get the video finished to get it out to you guys. So sorry I didn't get this finished. Hopefully next episode we will for sure get all of this done and get it to where it's basically a roller. But I'm not going to bore you guys with a bunch of grinding and sitting here trying to record myself grinding. It just doesn't make sense. So we're going to finish it up, like I said, next week. I am trying to put out new videos every Wednesday, sometimes Thursday, and every Saturday. So I'm trying to put up enough content to be putting out 2 videos a week. So thank you guys. Please like and subscribe again. Appreciate all the support. If you guys want to get a t-shirt, shoot me an email. I'll put it at the bottom of the screen because I am working on my website and I'm doing that on my own. So between filming and bike making and working, and I'm working on my truck again because we got Slam Fest coming up, so I need to get my truck ready. Amongst family time and everything else, I'm quite burning the candles at both sticks, both ends, not both sticks. But yeah, again guys, thank you again. So I will see you guys next week. Later.